Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Willie, and this is the encouraging word for today. Let's talk about faith today. We are saved by faith, faith alone. We are saved not by works, but by faith alone. Ephesians 2:8-10. It is impossible to please God without faith. Without faith, we will never see God. We live by faith. We walk by faith and not by sight. If you were to do a study in the Bible, I am certain that one of the main words in the Bible is the word faith. And we all have some idea in our mind about what faith means. But Satan has a counterfeit faith that he wants us to accept as our understanding as faith. Satan reduces faith to just a mental agreement with something. He reduces it to just a religious idea, whereas God's idea of faith is not a religious idea at all. God's idea of faith, which is real faith, is not a matter of what you believe alone, but what you believe and what you do. You see, faith to be real must be played out in everyday life, in everyday actions, in how we live. If it's not, it's called a dead faith. And James, who's the brother of Jesus, the half-brother of Jesus, is focusing on basics. It's his book in the Bible by his name. James is what is known as a wisdom book. It has little wisdom sayings, but I would also call it a book of Bible basics. And so after mentioning a few topics, he goes right to the topic, right to the core of religion, right to the core of Christianity, and talks about faith. And this is what he says in James chapter 2, verse 26. As the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without deeds is dead. Now we all know that once the spirit leaves the body, you have a dead body. It may look like the person, but it's not the person because something is missing. We've all gone to wakes or funerals. We've seen the body. Yes, that's the body, but we know the person is not there. And in the same way, faith can be like a dead body. It may sound like faith. It may look like faith, but without deeds, without the spirit, like the body is dead without the spirit, faith without putting it into action in real situations is as dead as a dead body. And if you read the verses right before James 2:26, he gives two examples of faith. Faith shown by works. The first one is Abraham. And it's the story of Abraham with his son Isaac, who he loved, his child of promise. And God says, go sacrifice, go kill your son to me as an offering. Now, Abraham had a choice. And we always have a choice whether to put faith in action or not put it in action. Abraham could have said, I believe in God, but I'm not going to do what he told me to do. But Abraham trusting in God, having faith in God, faith to the point that he said, I know he can raise the dead to life, or he will provide a sacrifice. So Abraham had the faith that led him to actually be ready, willing, and able to sacrifice Isaac. He had the knife ready to go down. Amazing faith. His faith was proved by his actions. And I could mention many situations in Abraham's life. When God called him, he said, go, leave your country to a land I will show you. I would have said, where is it going to be? How am I going to get there? Not Abraham. It's okay. Go. That's all I know. I go. Faith in action. The other example is Rahab, a prostitute. And Joshua and his men are attacking the city she lives in, and she believes in God, and she knows God's going to be victorious. She's heard the deeds, what happened in Egypt, and she wants to follow the true God. And so the spies, who would be killed instantly, and anyone who sided with them would be killed instantly, come to her doorstep, and she hides them from the police, so to speak. And if she were caught, she would be dead. So she took a risk. Faith involves a risk. Faith involves taking a step. If there's no risk, if you just know, yes, I know God can do it, but you don't take the step, you don't put yourself out there, you don't live it, it's just dead faith. Imagine what it would look like in your life if you had faith that was acted out every single day in what you do. Imagine if in the church you go to, everybody in the church had that kind of faith that they acted out upon. Sadly, many quote unquote followers of Jesus do not have faith that is shown by works. And James makes clear, faith without works is dead. But we're not saved by works. We're saved by faith that manifests itself in those works. Whether it's a risk, whether it's a radical obedience and surrender to God, that, my friends, demonstrates that we have real faith. God bless you. See you tomorrow.